Tensions are rising in the Horn of Africa as Somalia demands Ethiopia cancel a controversial port deal with Somaliland or withdraw its troops from Somali territory. Somalia's frustration with Ethiopia's deal was evident when it signed a military pact with Egypt on August 14th, a key rival of Ethiopia. Since then, Egypt has supplied Somalia with military equipment, including howitzers and armored vehicles. There are also rumors of Egypt potentially sending up to 10,000 troops to Somalia to assist in the fight against al-Shabab militants. Ethiopia, increasingly isolated, has responded with nationalist rhetoric. Last month, Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed warned against any invasion, saying, "We Ethiopians know how to defend ourselves." His top general, Birhanu Jula, echoed the sentiment, comparing the situation to the 1977-78 war between Ethiopia and Somalia over territorial disputes. Birhanu further criticized Somalia's decision to align with Egypt, calling it a betrayal of the strong relationship Ethiopia and Somalia once shared. At the heart of this conflict is Abiy's desire for a Red Sea port. He has previously stated that Ethiopia's landlocked status is a historical mistake that must be corrected, either through diplomacy or force. On January 1st, he signed a surprising Memorandum of Understanding (MOU) with Somaliland, a self-declared republic that broke away from Somalia 30 years ago. The deal reportedly allows Ethiopia to lease a 25-kilometer stretch of Somaliland's coastline for a naval base in exchange for official recognition, sending shockwaves across the region. Somalia, which still claims sovereignty over Somaliland, has threatened military action, even though it has yet to fully access the details of the agreement. This evolving situation is reshaping the geopolitical landscape of the Horn of Africa, with consequences that may last for decades. In the international arena, Somalia has successfully positioned Ethiopia as a violator of global norms. Somalia has launched a diplomatic campaign to gather support for its cause. Along with its military pact with Egypt, Somalia has signed an agreement with Turkey to develop its navy, and has gained backing from Eritrea, Djibouti, the United States, the EU, and the Arab League. In recent months, Somalia has expelled Ethiopia's ambassador, accused Ethiopia of illegal military incursions across their border, and alleged that Ethiopia is smuggling weapons to aid separatists and terrorists. Turkey has attempted to mediate between the two nations twice, with a third round of talks planned for September 17th in Ankara, though they were indefinitely postponed. Somalia has successfully painted Ethiopia as an international outlier, violating norms and losing moral credibility, said a Western foreign policy expert. Ethiopia currently has 3,000 troops in Somalia under the African Union peacekeeping mission ATMIS to fight al-Shabab. This mission is set to be replaced by a smaller force in January 2025. Additionally, 5,000 to 7,000 Ethiopian soldiers are in Somalia under a separate bilateral arrangement. The tension between these nations is reshaping alliances and altering the geopolitical dynamics of the region. Ethiopia is currently the largest troop contributor in the fight against al-Shabab, with more soldiers in Somalia than Kenya, which has 4,000 troops stationed there. However, Ethiopia's future involvement is now in question. Somalia's National Security Advisor, Hussein Sheikh Ali, told the New Humanitarian that whether Ethiopian troops remain in Somalia depends on how quickly they resolve the MOU issue, referring to Ethiopia's controversial agreement with Somaliland. He added that Ethiopia has until sometime in October to renounce it. Ali warned that time is running out, saying, "Their presence is negative. The people of this land now see Ethiopia as an aggressor, not a partner." Egypt enters the pictorially downplayed the significance of Somalia's recent security pact with Egypt, comparing it to military support Somalia receives from other nations like the US, Turkey, the EU, and the Gulf states. He dismissed rumors of Egypt potentially deploying troops to Somalia, but hinted they could be involved in the new African Union mission, stating, "This is a sovereign decision of Somalia." Meanwhile, Ethiopia is feeling the pressure. In August, Ethiopia's foreign ministry accused Somalia of colluding with external actors aiming to destabilize the region. Ethiopian Foreign Minister Tay Atske Selassie also raised concerns that the supply of ammunition by external forces could fall into the hands of terrorists. For Egypt, this conflict offers a chance to apply pressure on Ethiopia, particularly in their ongoing dispute over the Nile waters. Despite Egypt's protests, Ethiopia has continued filling the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam GERD reservoir over the past 4 rainy seasons, further escalating tensions between the two countries. This evolving situation ties together regional rivalries, security concerns, and long-standing water disputes, setting the stage for a complex and potentially volatile future. Egypt is growing increasingly frustrated with the lack of progress on the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam GERD negotiations. They've walked away from the negotiating table and are using this dispute with Somalia to increase pressure on Ethiopia, said Ahmed Solomon from Chatham House. Cairo views the GERD as a serious threat to its drinking water, while Ethiopia argues the project is crucial for its development and could help regulate the Nile's flow downstream. Last year, after a meeting between Ethiopian Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed and Egyptian President Abdul Fattah al-Sisi, both countries aimed for a deal within 4 months, but the talks collapsed, leaving the situation at a standstill. According to Alan Boswell of the International Crisis Group, the Somalia-Egypt Security Pact is part theatrical and part substantive. He believes Egypt's military support for Somalia isn't a game-changer yet, but sends a clear signal to Ethiopia that Somalia is dissatisfied. However, the potential for Egypt to increase its investments in Somalia remains. For Somaliland President Muse Bihi Abdi, the move with Ethiopia has been a diplomatic win, especially as he faces elections in November. Western countries have yet to recognize Somaliland's independence, but securing Ethiopia's endorsement as the region's most influential country could be a key stepping stone. The move also helped Abdi regain political ground after facing internal rebellions from clans opposing his leadership. The risk of miscalculation dyes heightened tensions. The risk of an all-out war is low. Egypt is already dealing with crises in Gaza, Libya, and Sudan, while Ethiopia is still recovering from the Tigray conflict and battling several ethnic insurgencies. Somalia's army struggles to maintain security within its borders, making an interstate conflict unlikely. However, in a region known for using proxy forces, the dispute could still be destabilizing. Somalia might increase support for proxies in Somaliland, while Ethiopia could back militias in Somalia. The fight against al-Shabab adds further complexity, as the jihadist group has managed to reverse gains by the Somali National Army and continues launching attacks in Mogadishu. Ethiopia has been involved in combating jihadists in Somalia since 2005 and maintains close ties with leaders in Somalia's southwest state. If Somalia were to push Ethiopia to withdraw its troops, it could have significant consequences. It would be painful for both countries, said Boswell, noting that Egypt could not effectively replace Ethiopia's military presence due to its lack of local expertise. Even if Somalia requests Ethiopia to leave, Ethiopia may remain unilaterally or through agreements with Southwest State, where its troops act as a security guarantee. Somalia itself is facing internal political challenges. Earlier this year, Puntland suspended its membership in the Somali Federation over constitutional disputes. If Somalia were to recognize Somaliland's independence, it could lead to further fragmentation of the country, which is why Mogadishu has taken a hard stance on the port deal. For Ethiopia, gaining access to the sea is not just an economic strategy, it is seen as essential for national security. An Ethiopian researcher emphasized that Abiy views the port deal as part of his historical legacy, securing Ethiopia's access to the Red Sea. While his foreign policy toward Red Sea neighbors has been chaotic, Abiy has succeeded in changing the regional discourse around Ethiopia's access to the sea, making it a central issue in policy discussions. In this sense, his strategy has worked. You could call it smart or dangerous, but it's already a success, the researcher noted. Thank you for watching. Your support means the world to us. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more updates and stories from Noble Black News. Stay tuned for more insightful content. Thank you.
Our brave ladies and young men from the Air Force who accomplished their mission both in air and ground without hesitation and have become a nightmare for our enemies. Following them, marching now are the brave Navy soldiers training and preparing to protect our interests on land and in waters.
ክቡራንና ክቡራት አሁን በማለፍ ላይ የሚገኙት የሴት ወታደሮቻችን ሰልፍ ነው። እነዚህ ሴት ወታደሮች ሁሉንም በተቋማችን ውስጥ ሆነው ሀገራችንን በማገልገል ላይ የሚገኙ ሴት ወታደሮችን የወከሉ ሰልፈኞች ናቸው።
Marching before you at this moment are the brave ladies of the Ethiopian Army soldiers representing all and the full army.
አሁን በክቡር ትሪብሉ ፊት ለፊት እያለፉ የሚገኙት ሀገራቸውን በውትድርና ለማገልገል በወጣትነት እድሜያቸው ወደ እጩ መኮንን የተቀላቀሉ የእጩ መኮንን ሰልጣኝ ናቸው።
Passing before you at this moment are the cadets of the Ethiopian Military Academy.
አሁን በማለፍ ላይ የሚገኙ ሰራዊታችን በዲሲፕሊን የታነጸና በስነ ምግባሩ የተገነባ እንዲሆን ሕገ ደንቡን መነሻ አድርገው ተልኳቸውን የሚወጡ ወታደራዊ ፖሊሶቻችን ናቸው።
Our military police are now marching equipped with the heart to serve in shaping the forces.
በመጨረሻ እያለፉ ያሉት አራት ብሎኮች በዝናቸውና በቁመናቸው ጠላት ፊታቸው ቆሞ እንዳይዋጋ ከሩቅ የሚያርበደብዱት ባሳለፍናቸው የውጊያ ሂደቶች በጀግንነት ተልዕኳቸውን የተወጡ የምድር ድሮኖች የሚል ስያሜ የተሰጣቸው ሰራዊታችን የሚኮራባቸው የኮማንዶ የአየር ወለድና የሪፐብሊካን ጋርድ ሰልፈኞች ናቸው።
At this moment, ladies and gentlemen, the four blocks marching before you are the brave and feared, the lightning rods, the flying tigers, who by their
የኢፌድሪ አየር ኃይል ሰልፈኛ ነው። ከዚያ በማስከተል የባህር ኃይል ሰልፈኞች ናቸው።
At this moment are two blocks of our ground forces and following them.
Thank you for watching Noble Black News, where we strive to bring you the real stories and perspectives that truly matter. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, share it with your community, and leave your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. Make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on our latest content. Together, let's continue to uncover the untold stories and celebrate the achievements of the global Black community. Stay tuned for more powerful stories. Until next time.